So guys, today was a tricky day. I'm sure those of you who traded today had some struggles, because this is typically what is called as a V-shaped recovery. So market fell down in the first half and rather had a very smart recovery in the second half. So on days like this, the problem with option selling is that in the morning you will get all the stop losses for the put options hit, and in the second half most likely you will get your call option stop losses hit. So it's hard to make money on these kind of days, but that was not necessarily a challenge for me. Today, in fact, when I started and as the day was progressing, and then when the fall started happening, I was actually happy that the fall was happening, because I was rather well positioned with my call options, and I was just I knew that the put option stop losses will get hit eventually, but the quantity on call option side was reasonable enough that I thought maybe I will wrap up the day early itself, right? I will make some money and maybe I will call it a day. But I made one very expensive mistake, and I will talk about that right now. So what is the mistake? So, well, as a habit, what I do is that every option that I sell, I also put a stop loss for that option right away, right? So if I'm selling a call option, there is a call option stop loss. If I'm selling a put option, there is a put option stop loss. So while I was building the position for the put option this morning, I had a reasonable quantity, I believe about 6,000 something. And I started placing the stop loss for that. I think I placed for some 1,500 quantity or something. But then market started picking momentum, so I got a little distracted. And then I somehow believed that I had set up all the stop losses in the system. It was, I think, somewhere around here. But that turned out to be a very expensive mistake, because when market started falling, I was expecting the put options to hit the stop loss, right? But to my surprise, my put options, there were two stop losses that got hit, but the rest of them were just sitting there. And by the time I figured out what was going on, that there was not enough stop loss, it was a little too late. So this is the order that I'm talking about. So my stop losses for the put options, they got triggered for the 17,300 put option. They got triggered very much according to the plan, because they were in the system, right? So 27 rupees and 30 rupees. And there was another one that got triggered at 35, but the remaining quantity did not get triggered. So I had to then manually go and do it. And you can see just between 1 minute, right? So this is 11:27. My stop loss got hit at 35. Within a minute, when I realized that I had to manually close the trade, the price that I got was 54 rupees, right? And the quantity was pretty huge. So 3,000 quantity here, 3,000 quantity here. So basically, from a profit of about 40 to 50,000 rupees, I went into a loss of 70,000 rupees just because of this one mistake. So a swing of 1 lakh rupees just because I did not set my stop loss. So I know it sucks, because I know eventually also it kind of went back up, but then you cannot time these things. So the rest of the day was a little choppy. So after the fall, I was in a loss. Then I sold some put options. Later on, when the market started recovering, I sold some put options. And this is how basically the day went. So I mean, it's fine, I guess. End of the day, I'm still happy that I made some money. But I just want to tell you guys one thing, that if you're selling any option, take it as a lesson. For me, this lesson costed me about 1 lakh rupees today. So it's a very valuable lesson, that every time you sell an option, without fail, you go and put the stop loss. It doesn't matter what the market is doing. It doesn't matter what is going on out there. If your stop loss is not in place, you're always vulnerable, and you don't know when things can go wrong and how quickly they can go wrong, like they happened in my case. 1 minute prior, the price was 35. 1 minute later, it was 54. So 1 lakh rupees of loss within 1 minute. You can imagine the intensity of those. So that's basically the lesson, guys. So I hope that you guys will take this lesson into consideration for any trades that you're going to take from here onwards.